Let's see. Oh, if it's okay to change the subject, did anyone see the live giant robot fight that happened last week?
Yes.
No, I still need to watch that.
Ah, okay. Let's see. I couldn't find a link if anyone is interested in watching it later on. But
Well, yeah,
it was a lot.
robots.
Oh yeah. It turned out to be a lot better than I thought it would turn out, and I was able to pull off a live commentary, which attracted quite a decent audience, the biggest audience I've had so far over the live stream. And as for the robot fight itself, I really hope that the company that organized this Megabots, I really hope that this could could work as a proof of concept into making it hopefully an actual sport.
That would be cool.
Make it
more BattleBots. Make it more BattleBots-ish.
Yeah, it's like a big scale version of BattleBots.
I've been wanting that type of series for so long.
Yeah. Instead, like all we've had so far is just like Roombas with battle axes and buzzsaws attached to them.
Right. And there was that one show called Robot Combat League where Chris Jericho was hosting.
Ooh, yeah, about that.
Ooh, let me.
There you go.
That wasn't too bad. It was just basically like Rock'em Sock'em Robots-ish, except with different weapons.
Okay.
I'm waiting for the day that they make a real life version of Real Steel from that movie with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Dude, do you know how cool it would be to control your own robot? Mostly for me because I used to do Muay Thai, and just have my moves be part of the robot. I would die happy.
That's one of the many reasons I like G Gundam. If that were real, I'd be all over that like white on rice. I used to do martial arts a lot too, so it'd be kind of cool to channel my inner Domon Kashu.
This hand of mine is burning red.
Its loud roar tells me to defeat you. Let's go now!
Take this, my love and anger and all my sorrow.
That's what I like about Domon Kashu. When he was kind of pretty upbeat, and you could tell when he was actually feeling sorrowful, and you could actually feel sorrow for him. Same thing when he got pissed off. You wanted to back away and go, okay, this guy's pissed. You don't want to fuck with him. Now he's pissed. Which is kind of rare with Gundam protagonists.
Basically.
Oh, Jason Crow.
It's kind of like one of my favorite protagonists in the Final Fantasy franchise is Zidane Tribal, because unlike the more emo protagonists we've gotten used to since 7, he's a cheerful, smart-ass motherfucker. And a shameless flirt.
Jason Crow's just saying in the comments, here comes Robo Lesnar.
Oh God, stay away, stay away, stay away, stay the fuck away.
No.
Oh God, eventually they're going to be having like a lot of wrestling style storylines in there. They're going to insert him into the robot fiction.
I'm getting bad flashbacks of Franking Castle.
Yeah, but think of it this way. If it's a robotic version of Lesnar, you could actually program him to promo properly.
It's funny.
We need a point.
You know, it's funny because 2002-03 Lesnar wasn't too bad, but now we get hulking. Eat, sleep, cock, repeat. Mr. Lesnar, where is my steak? Where is my fruit roll-up championship?
Borg Lesnar. Says Stephen in the comments.
Plus, during that time, we had other wrestlers balancing out that whole roid rage-esque personality. Like when Taz first came to the WWE, then there was Rhino. Let's see. Trying to think off the top of my head here. Who else kind of had that aggressive kind of motif going on?
Batista.
Oh,
Touché.
yeah.
And let's call it for what it is. Come on. We've seen Cena's arm on occasion. He's done it.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, his first appearance, his motif was ruthless aggression.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see, other ones who've done well. To be fair, from what I've heard, I think Mr. Perfect had done it. I know that the British Bulldog had done it at one stage because there was an interview with Dynamite Kid where he and Bulldog had been doing it, and his doctor said in order to get your life back in somewhat of a better order, just come off the steroids. And Dynamite Kid today, he is such a contrasting picture from how he was in his prime. Today, he's in a council state house in Manchester in a wheelchair.
Oh,
Such a fall from grace. Because this was during the whole height of what happened with Benoit 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They all presumed it was steroids that did it, but it's like apparently there were steroids in his system, but it was more to do with how messed up his head was.
Yeah.
Yeah, we covered that on a recording of the B-side yesterday because Oni wanted to cover Vengeance 2007 Night of Champions, and we decided he wanted to address the whole Benoit situation, and the recording got very heavy.
And very, very, very loud.
Actually, no, that was Oni at his quietest.
Oh yeah, shit. I mean, it's funny because with Oni, it's like, oh, you expect rage, but this time you hear like silence. Like, oh, sometimes that's just something you don't expect.
You know when Oni's
lull you into a security.
When Oni's going quiet, you know it's serious. I mean, he does this whole Eric Cartman motif where he's raging and what have you. That's just classic Oni. But then there's that side where he's taking it real serious, and you just like tell like, oh, this is not emotional Oni. This is serious, deep Oni, which is very rare when you see that. And then I think it was either me or Elman that just decided to break the tension, and we just moved on to something a bit lighter. And apparently, if you don't want to get blocked by Road Dogg on Twitter, don't bring up anything about the Alamo. Don't ask.
That's that Texan stuff right there.
That became a bit of a recurring theme for a little. It was like, we're going down to the Alamo, and I'm like, oh, and then you start hearing Oni laugh. It's like, what have I done?
Well, let's go back to talking about the Wrestling League with robots. Would you imagine Vince McMahon playing in a robot body?
You mean he's not one already? It's funny.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
It's funny you bring up the concept of controlling your robots telepathically. This is reminding me a lot about the anime Angelic Lair.
Oh, I have that series.
I'm hearing that and I'm like, oh wow, I've heard all this stuff. There are some episodes where, I forget the protagonist's name. Mizaki?
I think her name was Misaki. I know that her battle doll was Hikaru,
which is actually Japanese for angel. There is one episode where the voice actor Kevin Korn is actually doing all of these martial arts moves, and Misaki is actually, because she's got a very good photographic memory, she's actually interpreting all these moves. So then she gets Hikaru to actually use this during the fights in the Angelic Lair, and then it's actually a nice little journey that all of the characters go through. Although I think the guy who was playing the engineer, I think he was enjoying his job a tiny bit too much whenever he was dishing out penalties to one of the lab assistants. I'm like, oh God, what's he going to do now? Will know what I'm talking about because he went to some creepy places.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, particularly when he got, I think in one episode, in order to sort of put the guy in his place, I think he told him to put something like, put noodles in his pants. I'm like, what the hell?
Can anyone hear me?
You're a little bit faint.
Yeah,
but-
sorry, I'm gone. I gotta go up here for something.
Oh, hey, Raiden.
Hi.
Yeah, that was one of those animes where I'd seen a bunch of previews. This is when ADV were still a thing, and I just thought, no, I'll check this out. Oh, this ain't too bad. One that I was never 100% into was PreTear, because I was meant to be like the new age version of Snow White, where you get soldiers that are known as Lethe Knights to bond with this one particular girl, and she takes on the powers of each individual knight, but they take the injuries from battles where she's left unscathed. I think that was also one of the. I think that was Lucy Christian's first voice acting gig.
Yeah, I believe that was her as Himeno.
Yes. They only did like, what was it, 12 episodes of that?
Yeah, it was a 12-episode series. From what I understand, though, the manga was just a tad longer.
Oh, really?
I could be wrong. It's been a while. I've seen PreTear, but I've never really got a chance to look at the manga. Because even though I was still in LA at the time, the bookstore that was close to me that did sell manga was no longer there in the mall.
That sucks.
Welcome to my life.
Mind you, it was also around a similar time that they actually put Azumanga Daioh out as an anime, and that's a very thought-provoking series.
Yeah, it's thought-provoking and it's a cute little slice of life at the same time.
Yeah.
And I loved how lively Monica Rial was as the gym teacher.
Oh, God. The rapport that she had with Lucy Christian's Yukari.
Yeah, hygiene since those two.
It's basically an adult version of Tomo and Yomi.
I see it.
Although there are times where you just want one of the girls to kick Tomo's ass, particularly when they're at the summer house for the second time and she just throws the key out into the forest. I'm like, what is wrong with you, girl?
Yeah, sometimes I wondered if Tomo was dropped on her head as a child.
Yeah, just a tiny bit.
I know Goku was.
And Mr. Kimura, I'm like, what the hell is up with that guy? That's just creepy.
Someone played the bongos on the soft spot on her head.
Particularly, he gets asked one question in one episode. He goes, Mr. Kimura, why did you become a high school gym? Because I like high school girls, that's why.
Oh my God.
No. Hey, oh my. Way out
Guy
of
was a
context right
complete
here.
creep.
Oh my
I
God.
get it. They stay the same age. The same age.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Mind you, that was ADV at their height, because I think they went out of business, what, 2010, because nobody was just buying the DVDs, and that's when they started
Other
selling
companies
off
like, right.
ADV.
Yeah, they started collaborating with Funimation. So some went to Funimation, others went to a different dub company called Sentai Filmworks.
Oh,
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're still up and going. So
Yeah.
there's still more than one dub company.
Right.
There's
Back in the day, I know,
that,
like,
there's Viz, and there's Sentai Filmworks.
right. Nowadays, the competition has begun a lot more aggressive, and I guess an older company like ADV couldn't keep up with the times. I don't know.
I actually think around the time was because due to the market crash, and around the time there was a lot of pirating of anime going on, and
Mhm.
pirating hurts the industry, including the voice acting industry. Don't do it, kids. I know some of you prefer your subtitles, but there are people that do like dubs. Don't ruin it for them and be spiteful, selfish jerks. Thank
Mhm.
you.
And
Because
luckily,
to
it seems
quote,
that
to quote Nathan Explosion in Metalocalypse in the near end of one of the seasons, that's my bread and butter you're fucking with.
yeah. Luckily, it seems like the market has been slowly trying to adapt to this changing environment, especially with the advent of streaming services like Hulu, Netflix, and Crunchyroll.
Yeah, that's kind of what made the industry go back up, was them collaborating with video game companies, streaming sites like Hulu and Crunchyroll. Because also got to remember, aside from ADV films that took a hit before Crunchyroll was a thing, Geneon had also taken a hit. And that was one of the more popular dub companies.
Right, I remember them. Are they still a thing? Or not anymore?
No, they went out of business back in, I'd have to say, around the same time as ADV Films, which was late 2009, early 2010.
Oh, that's why some of
And
their
their voice
DVDs are
work
hard to
started
find
going
by.
more towards Viz and Bandai Namco for video games.
Right.
Wasn't
What about the
ADV
V?
Oh,
Go ahead.
My
my
bad.
bad. Didn't ADV did Super Milk Chan?
Mm-hmm.
I
I love that show.
Let's see. What was that other company I was
You
thinking of?
dumbass!
Is manga entertainment still a thing?
As far as I know, they are.
I think
I believe so.
I thought I saw something released from them a couple years ago. I don't know if they're still around, but I do know that at least around 2013, 2014, I saw something released by them. And I
Okay.
think that was the English dub for Monster.